Just wait for a few to come on here. You can see that it's actually working. I'll get it up on my laptop as well. So, how are we all? Welcome first and foremost to GeForce Health and Fitness Limited. Let's see if we can actually get this up on the laptop as well. No, we can't, because it's been a pain. But that's fine, because I have it on the television as well. Recomposition. Okay, recomposition. What is it and why should you care is the main point. Now, a lot of people have seen the results coming out of GeForce and they're wondering how things are achieved, because one of the things I like to do is to keep things very realistic. I like to keep things so that they actually mean something to your everyday person that's going around the streets. It's all great being an athlete or a bodybuilder or something like that. That's fantastic, you know, and more power to those people. But what's actually the most sustainable method for you guys to actually do things? How is this going to work? The big thing that's coming up lately, okay, and it's becoming quite commonplace. A lot of the forums you see, a lot of the fitness things you see, a lot of the body transformation challenges. What are they based around? And it's everything is based around a little word. I'm going to get another pen if I have one around here somewhere. We're going to use, oh, they're on here. There we are. It's based around a little word, simply called, yes, I'm left-handed, fat. Okay, you see that all right? Yep. Everything is focused on fat loss challenges, 12 weeks to a new you, these kind of things. But what is recomposition? Okay, what is it? People seem to think that they can work towards it. People seem to think that they can or can't do these things. And you get a lot of rumours and a lot of things spread around the internet. And they're perpetuated by multiple people. Somebody else hears it, they start saying it. Somebody else hears it, they start saying it. And then when you've heard it enough, you start believing this is fact. Okay? And this gets put round, and it all starts from nonsense. It all starts from one suggestion. It's something that sort of sounds clever, but isn't. And the real thing that comes round is, even for elite athletes, they say, you cannot burn fat and build muscle, because it's two different processes. Okay. But you can. It's that simple. How many other different processes within the human body, which are varied, different, opposites perhaps, actually happen at the same time? And yet you're telling me that the human body has somehow segregated these two? Put these two aside specially just because Dave, who benches 5 plates down the gym, said so, or little Timmy, who still lives in his mum's basement, has got a 6-pack and he claims this? Right, I'm going to give you a little phrase now for all this sort of stuff. Came from a chap called Stephen Fry, intelligent chap. It's arse gravy. That's what it is. It's absolute nonsense. You absolutely can burn fat and build muscle, even as an advanced athlete, because the processes can work in synergy. They're not in direct opposition of each other, and anybody that says they are doesn't know anything about the human body. The reason this rumour has been perpetuated, okay, is because we have the scale. People want to get in shape. People come through. They want to look good for whatever purpose. With most chaps, they're sort of looking at, they want to build the sort of chest and shoulders and the sort of t-shirt muscles. Perfectly fine if that's what they need for feeling good. Absolutely no problem with that. Women tend to want to. The word tone gets used a lot. They tend to like toning the sort of back of their arms, around their waist, around their thighs. Again, absolutely no issue with any of these things because it's what every individual wants. What happens is they say you have to do two things. You've got this. You've got cut. And now, within cut, it's very straightforward. So we're in. What's in there? Okay, cutting, we're in a calorie deficit. Make sure you can still see that there, yeah. All they're trying to do here is reduce the amount of calories you're having, and they do this through restricting your diet. Okay? You're going on a macro plan, you're having this amount of calories, you're having this breakdown of calories. You know, within that restricting diet, you may have some variations in macros. That's how you do this cut. And then, after you've cut, you're supposed to bulk. And to do this, you need a cal. That's the cal surplus. So they have extra food. We'll put there to keep it nice and simple. Can you see that behind my big head? Yes, you can. So you have these two. They all say, got to cut first, see what you're working with. See what you're working with, yeah. Then you bulk. Why? Why? It's a simple question. No one ever seems to question why. The reality of this is, this and this are two extremes. There's an end there and there's an end there. Within this, there's all sorts of different stages you can be at to be able to make these changes. Okay? So there's all sorts of these different changes you can make. Why do you have to do this first? I'll tell you why this happens, and it's a simple psychological trait. People want to get into shape. People feel a little bit out of shape. They're not happy with their appearance. Burning fat is actually very, very easy. Okay? You simply have to expend more energy than you put into your body. That's very straightforward. You can do that through a restrictive diet, which is the most common trend. You can do this through cardio is the other one that people go to, and then resistance training as well. So throughout all these, they're creating the calorie deficits. Great. They're aiming to cut down. The reason they aim to cut down and burn the fat is because you get very quick results. It's very, very easy, if you haven't done anything, to lose a lot of fat very quick. And so you think, oh, great, this is working. I am marvellous. I have found the secret to fitness. I am a guru. I'll start selling programs online. That's what happens. However, the reality of this situation is, it's kind of like shooting out of the blocks in a car and pushing the NOS too early. You get that massive rapid start, but then you start to decelerate. As you get into it more, you think I'm doing more and more and more, and I'm seeing less and less and less results. And so the actual input, the actual work that you're putting in, is giving you less results. This is when your head starts to go. And I do not care what any other gurus out there say, what any other fitness professionals say. I am a firm believer in the fact that your body will go where this goes. If your head isn't in the game and you're not committed to a process, you will not succeed. You will derail yourself. If you are one of these people that goes, I know what works for me, I've done it before, I'll do that again. And then you found yourself back in a situation and you go, hey, I know what works for me, I've done it before. It doesn't work for you because you've done it before and you've come off the rails. It's a very, very simple method of looking at it, but very, very true. So, what do we have within this that's a bit different? The other issue we get when we do this section, so I haven't scripted any of this, so I'm just blabbering on, so by all means make comments and stuff. I can just about see comments on the television, but anyway. The other issue we have within this cut and bulk scenario is when you do cut and you've trimmed yourself down, your head is in this mode of restrict, restrict, restrict. So that when you want to actually start putting muscle mass on and create the optimal environment for growing muscle tissue, this is still sat in the back of your head. And so you still keep that mindset. I want to bulk, but I don't want to put fat on. And you start hamstringing yourself as you're going along this process. And this is where this little beauty of recomposition comes in, and it's so much better. If you've seen some of the results I've been putting out, you'll notice there's clients I've got such as Christian and Ryan, for example, who have stayed within a sort of 3 to 5 pound body weight ratio within a period of time that they've been training. However, because the composition of that body weight, let's just for argument's sake say it's 200 pounds, because that 200 pounds has changed in its composition, the body fat percentage has gone down, the muscle mass percentage has gone up, the visual impact is far, far different. The reason I'm such a fan of doing it this way, and I believe for the majority is better, is because any coach out there, any PT, anyone with any kind of nutritional information, give me 12 weeks, if you follow the protocol I can give you, I can reduce your body fat percentage considerably, quite considerably. Put you on a restrictive diet, exercise-based routine to try and preserve as much muscle as possible, trim you down. Very, very easy, and people think, hey, I've done 12 weeks, I've got the results I want, that's great, that's a good coach. But then that's not sustainable in the long run, okay? What I prefer to do is play the long game with people. So we want to lose body fat, this little thing up here. Fat wants to go, and we want to build muscle. So, in building the muscle, we're having a calorie surplus, we're having the extra food, have the resistance training. I can spell resistance training. So, you know earlier how I was talking about why these people seem to think these things are diametrically opposed? What's that? It's a resistance training there. What's that? It's a resistance training there. So they're having extra food and they're having a restricting diet. So, why don't we bring these into the middle? You with me? You're working on this now? And we maintain. And we create a calorie maintenance level. How's that going to work? Keep your body the same, doesn't it? Doesn't work. However, if we then use the resistance training here with that maintenance level to create the calorie deficit here, all sorts of magic happens. It really is that straightforward. And yet, people seem to have such a problem with it. Most of it is because of the mindset. They don't understand that the body actually likes to keep a state of equilibrium. You know, when you do these diets, you always tend to find yourself drifting back to the same weight, to the same sort of body mass, to the same sort of body composition when you're rested. And it's because there is a thing which has sort of had an affectionate name to it called set point. So your body tries to maintain this equilibrium. So what we're actually doing is we're not fighting the body, we're not forcing it to disrupt this equilibrium. All we're doing is we're changing the components within that equilibrium. So we're using the body to build muscle mass, okay? Now remember, when we're building muscle mass, so we're using this, so we're trying to build muscle mass. This immediately increases BMR, your basic or basal metabolic rate. Now, if you're doing this properly with the resistance training down here, and you're getting stronger, you're lifting more and more weight, this strength equals greater energy output. Okay? So we're recomping, we've created a calorie maintenance level, but then we're increasing our BMR and we're creating a greater energy output. Are you with me? Now, here's the beautiful part. Here's the beautiful part. This was your maintenance calories, and we'll just say, for argument's sake, they're here because it's convenient and I've just drawn it. The moment you start increasing your BMR, that starts moving up. So that could be, let's say, 2,000 calories. And all of a sudden you've increased your BMR and you're on 2,200 calories. She's a very small person who's on this many calories, by the way, it's just a number. Then if we start adding this in, all of a sudden, we're coming up here, and that 2,200 becomes 2,700. Now, just tell me on a day-to-day basis, if you're able to eat big hearty meals, you feel satisfied, you're able to have a dinner with your family, you're able to have a treat with your kids, you're able to have a beer with the boys, glass of wine with the girls, however you want to do it. Or a lot of the girls I know, a pint of cider or a pint of beer with the boys as well. Whichever way around it goes, doesn't really matter. If you're able to do that and increase your BMR and build muscle, and that's still creating a calorie deficit that's going higher and higher and higher, your body weight staying the same, are you not happier? You're actually eating more, staying the same weight, getting more muscular and losing body fat. And that is recomposition. It is simple, as long as you know the methods how to do it. If you are having any doubts of this, by all means come through. What have we got going on? Big Ross talking to me on here. Sorry, I'm not monitoring the questions because they're on the TV, but this is body recomposition. It's a more sustainable way, a happier way of being, because it stops putting you in that I can't mode. I can't do that. I can't do that. It's more of a case of I can do that. I do want that. I want that birthday. You know, it's my daughter's birthday. I want a piece of cake. You go, oh, I've had the piece of cake. I'm not overly worried because I know I've had that cake and I'm going to use that cake as the NOS fuel, as the supercharged fuel to bust my ass in my workout. And then because you're busting your ass, you get fitter, you get stronger, your body gets more flexible, your joints become improved. Your mood elevates because you've worked yourself hard and the adrenal gland responds accordingly. The pleasure hormones come through your brain, your dopamine, your serotonin, your norepinephrine, all creating a great positive balance. And you're eating more. I love food. I don't know about anybody else, but I absolutely adore food. So that is body recomposition. If you're in any doubt, just drop me a line and we'll talk through it. But this is how you sustain things and make change long term. I'm going to shoot off now, guys, because I also want to eat. Any questions, just drop me a DM, guys. Thanks.